Hi, my name is Jacqueline Alarcon. I'm a family law attorney at Yates Family Law, where we practice exclusively family law. The purpose of this video is to provide divorced parents with co-parenting tips during this time that we are engaging in the practice of social distancing. Tip number 1, be healthy. Comply with all CDC and local and state guidelines and model good behavior for your children with intensive hand washing, wiping down surfaces and other objects that are frequently touched, and maintaining social distancing. This also means to be informed, stay in touch with the most reliable media sources, and avoid rumor mill on social media. Tip number 2, be mindful. Be honest about the seriousness of the pandemic, but maintain a calm attitude and convey to your children your belief that everything will return to normal in time. Avoid making careless comments in front of the children and exposing them to endless media coverage intended for adults. Don't leave the news on 24/7, for instance, but at the same time, encourage your children to ask questions and express their concerns and answer them truthfully at a level that is age appropriate. Tip number 3, be compliant with court orders and custody agreements. As much as possible, try avoid reinventing the wheel despite the unusual circumstances. The custody agreement or court order exists to prevent endless haggling over the details of time sharing. In some jurisdictions, there are even standing orders mandating that if schools are closed, custody agreements should remain in force as though school were still in session. What to do about spring break should be in this court-ordered parenting time. In Oregon, most court orders include a defining term as to what spring break means. Judges here in Oregon, for example, take spring break to mean the regularly calendared spring break in the school district where the children subject to a court-ordered parenting plan are attending school or would attend school if they were school-aged, unless specific language in a court-ordered parenting plan provides otherwise. Tip number 4, be creative. It would be foolish to expect that nothing will change when people are being advised not to fly, and vacation attractions such as amusement parks, museums, and entertainment venues. In addition, there are some parents that will have to work extra hours to help deal with the crisis, and other parents may be out of work or working reduced hours for a time. Plans will inevitably have to change. Encourage closeness with the other parent who is not getting to see the child as much through shared books, movies, games, and FaceTime or Skype. The possibilities with media are endless. Number 5, be transparent. Provide honest information to your co-parent about any suspected or confirmed exposure to the virus, and try to agree on what steps each of you will take to protect the child from exposure. Certainly, both parents should be informed at once if a child is exhibiting any possible symptoms of the virus. Tip number 6, be generous. Try to provide makeup time to the parent who missed out, if at all possible. Family law judges expect reasonable accommodations when they can be made and will take seriously concerns raised in later filings about parents who are inflexible in highly unusual circumstances. Tip number 7, be understanding. There is no doubt that the pandemic will pose an economic hardship and lead to lost earnings for many, many parents, both those who are paying child support and those who are receiving child support. The parent who is paying child support should try to provide something, even if it can't be the full amount. The parent who is receiving payments should try to be accommodating under these challenging and temporary circumstances. Adversity is a time that can create fear and chaos, but when children are involved, adversity is also an opportunity for parents to come together and focus on what is best for the child. For many children, the strange days of the pandemic will leave vivid memories. It is important for every child to know and remember that both parents did everything they could to explain what was happening and to keep the child safe. Thank you, Senator Shamia Fagan.